I was born in Ohio, about 18 miles east of Columbus, Ohio, in a town called Pataskala. I grew up on a 300-acre farm, and we had pigs and cows and corn, and that's how we made our livelihood. What my parents instilled in us, I'm talking about my siblings, were to be true to yourself, don't take anything for granted, and don't let anyone tell you that you are lesser than anyone.
Typically on a morning when we were here from New York during the summer, we would get up and have a hearty breakfast of fried potatoes and eggs, sausages and scrapple, and then we would prepare to go out and start working. Work often consisted of, since it was summertime, harvesting the crops such as cucumbers, tomatoes, string beans, watermelons, cantaloupes, things of that nature. Sometimes we would reverse our trips because we lived in Maryland from the time I was 4 until I was 10. And so then we would go from Maryland to Wilmington, Delaware, to Philadelphia, and then on to New York, which is where I was born.
We met on January 1st, 1974, at a dewdrop-in hosted by Paulette at her home.
I immediately saw that Donna was quite an interesting person. She needed a spirit like mine. I needed to be affirmed in a way that I had not been in my life. We had spoke about always preparing for this moment because we were doing that from the inception. And this was just the culmination of coming to this sacred space, not even knowing that it was sacred at the time. This is 2,167 acres of land that Harriet Tubman's parents lived on and her brothers lived on. And this is where she took them out of slavery. There was a lot of conversation about Harriet Tubman took slaves to freedom. And I spoke up and I said she did not take them to freedom because they were already free. She was taking them out of slavery. And unless you discuss the institution of slavery, then you can never talk about freedom. I see freedom as when my mother birthed me, I was free. I was free. Then somebody enslaved my ancestors, and that enslavement has gone in perpetuity. So in the future, I want to hear the conversation about slavery and freedom. That is going to be a testimonial to people like Harriet Tubman, people like Frederick Douglass, people like Medford and Nora Greene, who my great-grandparents, people like Donna's mother, Leola Dear Adams, that's where this comes from. It's not just all the people whom you know, it's about our everyday lives and our everyday families. Harriet Tubman is gone, but her legacy lives on.